Hello guys, welcome back to the Canadian Women's Team Squash Champs in Gatineau, Quebec, hosted by Squash Hootaway here at La Sportec. Here we got a good matchup. We have Alberta versus British Columbia. Beside me here I have Steve Sue, who is a local legend and retired or half-retired squash player.
Coming back.
Yeah, coming back. That's better.
So everybody's always coming back anyway. So.
Yeah, you never really go away.
No, exactly.
Right now we have Lindsay Seginson from BC playing against Sarah Hall from Alberta. Sarah Hall is actually 42nd in the country right now. Yeah.
Sarah Hall in the red shoes.
Red shoes, yeah.
Okay.
White skirt. They're a little hard to differentiate. We can't really see the names of the teams on the back too well.
It's a little fuzzy.
with white shirts. Team BC on the left.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. So
big quiz question for you, Dom. What's the first thing you noticed about these two? Besides their color of shoes. I know you're talking about that earlier.
Well, first thing I noticed is that they can actually both hit the ball like pretty solid, and this is a Canadian champ, so that's you can't expect less. But I'll actually tell you. We'll have to see because I don't know what to think right now.
I'm gonna tell you.
What's
They're
up?
both left-handed.
That's a good eye.
Yeah.
That's a good eye. Okay, well
It doesn't happen all the time when you have two lefties playing.
No, it's true. Do you find the game actually changes a bit with two lefties?
I don't know. I know when I play a lefty, I really try and work on their backhand. Oftentimes their lefties' backhands are typically a little weaker, it seems, and then they have a really strong forehand.
I'm not sure how true this is or not, but I've always found that when I play lefties, especially on their forehand, they seem to put like a certain spin on the ball that. It might just be me, right, playing a lefty, not really being used to it, but I always found there's a little different bounce when especially getting a shot from the forehand from a lefty, but that could be completely wrong too.
Alright. big referee here.
Yeah.
He's taking up the whole
Better door than
size of the door.
Hopefully he'll sit down at one point.
My gut feeling is they're fairly evenly matched here.
Yeah, I don't know either of them. So, what's your predictions for this one, Stevie?
Predictions. Let me watch a couple more hits.
Oh, that was not a shot. That ball is bouncing. There's quite a bit of people.
It's hot,
in the,
eh? Yeah.
There's quite a bit of people watching, so it's really warming up the court.
It's already a bit bouncier on these courts, right?
Yeah, well, panel courts, they just generally are a little bit bouncier, and also you can't forget that these courts are a little bit more narrow than the rest. So
it's a foot narrower, is that right?
Yeah, it's a foot. So half a foot each side.
Yeah.
They actually just converted racquetball courts.
Yep.
Which is pretty convenient when you actually think about it.
Yeah.
But though,
I never hear too many people really complaining about it when they have. I played in a little pro-am here once, and nobody complained about it at all.
This back in 2006, right? 2005. We had it a couple of years in a row.
Yeah. I can't remember which year.
But it was pretty good. Back. Well, I think 2006 we brought in. This is I think a 5K, and it was Miguel Rodriguez when he was just starting out his career with Daryl Shelby too.
Yeah.
He came into town, and I remember being a kid watching it and thinking that Rodriguez was a Spider-Man because he was jumping on the wall.
Oh,
his game has not changed. I don't know.
Back then he must have been jumping the wall and then doing the flip too.
Yeah, well he had
not anymore.
Yeah. the age has caught up to him now. He can't do many flips on court anymore.
Yeah. Definitely not jumping, diving as much, right?
Well, I'd compare them a bit to Paul Cole. Like, I think their games has just gotten a bit better where they don't need to dive as much, right?
Exactly.
Especially Paul Cole when he was really coming through at first. He was diving all over the place and known for it. But now he's not as much, and I think it's just because his game has developed and he can hold the tee a lot longer against the better guys.
Yeah.
I'd guess it would be the same thing with Rodriguez, but he's a little flashy, so we actually hope for him to dive. Who'd you play when you played that pro-am? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was an Indian fellow.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always had a little bit tougher time on these courts, I find. I'm not sure. It's just I played so many years on the concrete courts at OEC that I just not really used to the bounce and the sound.
Well, having the court a little bit narrower, it changes the footing on the ball, right? That ball can really spit off the side wall a lot quicker and really jab at you almost.
Yeah.
So, it's good home court advantage for me being from this club.
Sure. Do you consciously do something different in terms of your movement, or?
No cross courts.
No cross courts.
Yeah. It's at very least, you want to minimize those cross courts because it's really easy just to step from the tee and cut those off, even if you make them extra wide.
Yeah.
So you almost have to find that perfect line for the ball to hit the side wall right when you want to hit the ball.
Yeah.
So it can actually be an effective cross court. So. Yeah. If there was one thing I would tell these ladies was just to avoid those cross courts because it just sets the other player up.
Okay. Have you seen many hitting the serves out yet? Or?
Actually, not this year. We had this tournament a couple of years ago in 2017 or a few years ago, and in the first couple of rounds we could see the ladies were serving out a couple of times, and I was just talking to Nikki Todd about it when she played. She remembered that those few rallies were a little off.
Did the ladies have much of a chance to try out the court before they played their matches?
Yeah. Well, most of them came in on a Thursday, the day before the tournament started, so they got a little bit used to it. Okay, so this game's moving on pretty well. 8-6 for Sarah Hall.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close one.
I hope so. I haven't seen many close matches yet, so...
They've all been about an hour, or less?
The games,
previous matches?
much less than that. They've been pretty
Much less, right?
Yeah, they've been pretty clinical. There
Yeah.
hasn't been one that's been exceptionally close.
Yeah.
But more the tournament progresses, there'll be more of those.
Yeah, I hear that this is the round that's going to be the best matches.
Yeah, Alberta versus BC. It's two really, really good teams that are stacked from number 1 to 3, right? So it's good roundups. Oh, that's a good shot. So 10-6 here for Sarah. Alberta to take it up 1-love in this first match of this first game. This first match of this first roundup. Oh, there you go. 11-6 for Sarah. Do you have any predictions now? It's a couple shots in.
I think I was off. I was going for Lindsay, but I don't know either player. So
Okay.
we'll have to watch a few more rallies here and see, try and diagnose what they're doing here.
I wonder if using the height on small courts would be a bit more effective than trying to pound the ball.
I was thinking that a lot of the club players could learn a lot from the women, especially when it's the women that they're not big, strong athletes. They're smaller, and so they have to rely a little more on the height. And so when we're coaching, we often tell people just hit higher up in the wall and get it to the back. They do it beautifully, especially some of their serves.
You
have to have detail, and you have to think about your serve sometimes. And they have these serves that just arc up and lots of time, but they're good serves.
I find playing female squash players, especially like Nikki and Holly, found that their touch is actually so much better than guys, because especially in the front of the court, when they really go in for that drop sticks to the front wall, and you got to take just that little half a step more to reach it, and it just changes the game really. There's not much power but it's a lot more precision and control, which is arguably harder to play.
Yeah, when they have the time. Who's that player, the Hong Kong player? Is that drop and lob one? There's a really effective.
Is it Au?
Annie Au. Eh?
Yeah, Annie Au. That's it. What's her ranking now? She's slipped down a bit in the last couple of years.
I think it's 11.
Yeah. She's definitely been on the top 10 for a while, though.
Yeah,
Annie Au. Oh, that's a nice shot. Loose serve. It's easy on these courts. It's easy to take advantage of those serves.
Right.
Oh, bit lucky there.
Not a lot of long rallies yet.
All now. Let's see if Lindsay can keep up with Sarah now in the second game. Hopefully Lindsay's figured Sarah out a little bit more, where she can push in through that second half of that game, because they got pretty close in the first game. I think going 5-all or around there, and then Sarah just took it away after that. So 4-2 now for Sarah. Right there, 5-all. It's tied up here in the second game. Let's see if she can pull off a better second half than the last game, because this is about the time where she started making a couple of mistakes in the last game. So, oh, that was a good shot. But Sarah goes up 6-5 now. When's the last Canadian champs you played, Stevie?
You mean Masters or Open?
Open, actually.
Oh, I played twice, I think. It was a long time ago. And, I could not remember the year. I'm 55 now, so I played it maybe I was mid-20s. And I think back then there was no, anybody could have just gone in.
For the Open?
Yeah, they didn't have any, you could be just a local Joe and get in the tournament. So I played some, but back then, there wasn't a...
What year was this? Do you remember? 90s?
Yeah, 90s.
90s, right?
Yeah. So I played the first match and thought, wow, I won the first match 3-love easy. But then the next one I played number 4 seed, and I was winning 7-1, and then I started getting wrong-footed.
You started figuring it out.
Yeah, you figured it out.
8-all now. So Lindsay's really sticking up with this game. It's nice to see. Hopefully she can pick one out here. 9-8. It's looking good. She's going to have to keep those balls extra tight though, because any loose shot, Sarah's just going to capitalize on it. Very long rally now. That's what we're looking for. Seems to be good. Oh, that's a great shot to finish a good rally, man. That's great.
They're both pushing up on the board. They're both playing aggressive.
Yeah, really using every corner there. There was started off pretty traditional, but that later part of that rally started using all 4 corners.
I know. 10-9.
Game ball now for Sarah. It's a good opportunity for her now to win the second game. This is actually pretty crucial, because if she loses this rally, it could it ties things up, and now Lindsay's all back into it. But if she wins this rally, well, she goes up 2-love obviously, which is not a good position to be in. Well, on Lindsay's side. But okay, here we go. 11-9. Better game here from Lindsay, really keeping close with Sarah. Let's see if she can turn that around for the third game. Okay, third game here. 2-love for Sarah from Alberta. Take it up 1-love in matches.
How's the refereeing been so far in the tournament? I haven't seen too many complaints.
Yeah, not much discussion actually, really. I think it's been pretty straightforward. It hasn't been the closest matches yet, which the calls are a little bit less contested, but we might see it a bit more in the later stages of the tournament. The games get a little hotter.
Right.
Yeah, that's a strike shot down the middle.
There's a discussion.
I think they're confused of who's serving. Okay, they're playing a let now instead of a stroke, I guess. Alright, we're playing a let. Hold on, let's see. I think that was a stroke. That ball went right through the middle. Yeah, unforced error there. Well, I say for two lefties, there's a lot of shots going onto that left-hand side, eh?
Yeah, they're hitting a lot of cross courts.
Yeah.
She had open spaces to the left side, but she still chose to hit back to the right side.
Here we go, another cross court. That cross court just keeps coming out in the middle. It's not actually putting much pressure. Besides that one, that was a really good cross court. But really, they're not putting that much pressure on each other with those cross courts. See, that ball just comes back out to the middle. Yeah. Unless you hit that fine line, right? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm just wrong now. There's 2 cross courts in a row which you want to rally on.
There it is.
Here we go. Lindsay going up 5-3 to get a little lead. Nice cushion. That was a good lob. You can really get those balls to die in the back corner here.
Yeah.
Hitting off that glass, that ball just dies in the back. Even though it is pretty hot in that court, you can with those lobs, if you get the right spin on it, you can actually make it die in the back corner.
I remember when you used to have the court here, where the one side was taped up. Remember that? Do you remember those days? You were just a lad then.
One side was taped
the
up.
Furthest one by the restaurant.
Oh, I must have been really young back then.
Yeah. So one side was blocked.
Okay.
And so it was really tough to see for.
Oh, it must have been.
From one side.
Wait, was it like like one wall was a glass?
I think both walls were glass. I can't remember why. One side was covered.
Okay. back in the days when
days.
Sportec had like 1,600 squash courts. We're down to 4 now, unfortunately. But squash here is growing again with the squash shoot-away program.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. The squash is really coming through now. The courts are getting more and more busy. Of course, it's taking a couple of years to pick up again, but yeah, the squash shoot-away program is really helping the squash to flourish again, which is really nice to see. Because it's just been slowly dying out in the last couple of years, especially in the region. So it's really good to have people like Max Leclerc here with Squash Shoot Away to keep this going. There's also Gloucester Squash on the Ontario side that works a little bit on the same concept as Squash Shoot Away, like really making a sort of business out of it, and they're doing pretty well. They're out of the Orleans club, on the other side of Ottawa, so they're doing pretty good too. So we need more of them, more of these little tournaments that can raise the visibility again.
There you go.
That's a nice shot.
Get no let there? I think so.
10-6, green ball.
Unforced error there. That was wide open. She could have made a good point there. Alright, so Lindsay up 10-6 now to take this third. We're going to see a bit more squash here. Yeah, Lindsay's turned this around. Hopefully she can bring this to 5.
Stay the course here. And
she's going to have to do something really wrong to miss this lead.
points isn't too much. You can actually
and
a lot of people panic.
And, yeah. There's been a
back.
couple surprises here and there in the past, especially at 10-6. But there you go.
We have a match on our hands.
Lindsay closes it out, 11-6. We're going into the 4th game now. And, what do you think made the difference here?
Looks like Lindsay looked a little bit more focused and she was choosing better shots, I found.
I think it forced a couple more errors from Sarah actually there was just those couple more errors that let Lindsay stay in the game and go up 5-3, I think, and from there that she had a good cushion where she could just keep on that, and I think Sarah's confidence went down in this 4th game, but she'll bounce back for sure for the 4th one. So hopefully we can get a really close game here.
Who would you know the players well? Who would normally?
I don't know either of them. Yeah, I don't know either of them. So I'm in the blue for this one. So.
Alberta leads 2 games to love. Please use the serve. Love all. 2 games to 1. Now. One love.
We're back here, 4th game of this first match between Alberta and BC. Sarah puts the first point on the board.
Very important to stamp that.
Oh, we're having some technical problems here. Hopefully it'll come back in a sec. Maybe a wire's being stepped on. We'll be right back, guys. We'll try to fix this. Okay, we're back. It's all good. We had someone leaning on the wire, that's why. So 2-2 now in this fourth game. It's going to be a really close one actually. Oh, that's a good shot. When it's tight like that, it's so hard to pick those balls off. Actually, I think at this court there's a panel that's a little like just half an inch.
Is that right?
Coming out half an inch, where if you hit it, the ball shoots out. No, that's probably not on this one. 4-2 now, Lindsay. She can keep this cushion up. That's what's going to keep her in that confidence zone to actually give her a chance to win that game, because they seem to be pretty equal players. It's just who has more confidence and who can hold that tee a bit longer.
Call that a stroke?
Yeah. The effort was a little minimal, but the shot wasn't that good either. So I'd give that a stroke too. Oh, that's a good shot. Perfect line.
7-3.
Oh, she's got the momentum now.
Yeah, 6-3. It's looking good for Lindsay. Have a good game on our hands now. The reverse post. It just hit out, unfortunately. I think it just clipped it. It's unfortunate. That would have been a really good shot, actually. Oh, here we go. Now the game's getting heated and the calls are getting debated. This is what we like. Here we go. We're going in, guys.
They give him that, right?
I think so. I couldn't hear. Okay, they gave him a stroke. 7-4 now for Lindsay. Oh, that's a good shot. Cut that ball down from mid-court. Really gets that ball to stick on that side wall. Put that much cut on it. 7-5. That's a good shot too. See those cross courts again. No matter how wide you do them, they seem to just bounce out and leave the other person the opportunity.
10-5. Game ball.
Not playing much on the backhand, are they?
No.
Yeah. It's a lot on the forehand. Interesting to see, because normally, traditional squash just go on the backhand and go straight. But there's both lefties. There's a lot on the forehand. All right, 10-5 now for Lindsay to take this in the fifth. It's a real comeback here. That's a nice shot. There you go.
She's hit a few of those.
Yeah, she's had some good
deep
success.
forehands in the back.
I think she's doing that on purpose to keep her straight shots on the forehand, because they seem to all be going in and actually being pretty effective for her. Maybe Sarah's forehand is a little loose, which is giving Lindsay a couple more opportunities. Really smart squash, because it's a little bit unorthodox, which is good to see. But now the fifth game, 11-6, 11-9, 11-6 and 11-6. It's pretty consistent.
Really cool. Can't get much closer, yeah?
Yeah.
Gonna be a nail biter for the fifth here.
Sure, it's going to be close between Ontario and BC. You know, it's only 3 players, eh? So the first two matches are so crucial. See if, especially that first match, to put the pressure on the other team. When you're down 1-love and you go, and if you lose the second game, then you've officially lost the matchup, right? So
Right.
it puts that extra pressure, and that first match is so important to get that lead. So Lindsay's going to have to do something pretty good here to keep that momentum up.
Sounds like all 3 matches could be close matches, so they all have to be on their mettle.
Well, you got Danielle at she's 39th in the world now against Nicole Bunyan, who's actually 65th in the world. So little distance there, but on a Canadian stage, they're both pretty close to each other. And in the number 2 positions, this will be a really good game. It's Jana Dweek from Alberta. She's second in Canada in the U17s, which is she's a younger sister of one of the juniors I played with, and he's so good. So she's come through really well. She's going to play against Grace Thomas. She's 5th in Canada. She played World Juniors, represented Canada in Juniors, so she's got a whole lot of experience under her belt. So we've got some pretty good matches coming up against
Anything
both
could
teams.
happen when it's team championships, right? Because it's a different mentality and because you're getting pushed and supported by your teammates. Some of the lower ranked players can really lift their game.
Like I said, that pressure difference can actually make a difference between a win and a lose, eh?
Yeah.
You can deal with the support or the anxiety of having a team behind you. Also, as much as it is supportive, it does bring a little bit of anxiety. Just so there's 2 other people that's counting on you as much as.
That's why in the world teams there are a lot of big upsets.
Yeah, that's true.
Men's.
That's true.
Totally matched up here, even.
2-2, yeah. 2-2 in the 5th.
2-2 and 2-2 in the 5th.
Yeah, 2-2 and 2-2.
Hang out, 3-all.
Oh, that's a good shot. Wait, did she get it? I clipped the tin. Bit hard to see on the screen
I
here.
think she missed that.
Oh yeah, there you go. Clip the top of the tin. That would have been a great shot though. Pretty
time.
Will Stropper-esque. Not really sure how to say it. Well, that could have been a stroke there. And that's a really good shot. Yeah, really good shot from Lindsay. It's good to see those shots coming through because a lot of players could have easily just stopped and called for a let and hopefully hope for a stroke, but that's good for
What I've seen is that they're all trying to push through and play around the
Yeah.
player. And,
yeah.
Not a lot of calls.
Good rally here all over the place. Looks like cannon fire right now. Oh, that's a good get. Come on. Oh, that's a great shot. Good rally. Okay. 5-3 now for Lindsay. So looking good in this 5th game. be a good win for her if she comes back from down 2-love and now 5-3 up. Like this pattern is kind of like she's gone up to 5 in the last 3 games and won the game. So you know, that little 2-point cushion in the first half seems to make a difference in the later stages of those games, because just afford that one error.
Some of the best matches to win when you can come back. It's
the most satisfying.
Character building, most satisfying, and it gives you confidence for future matches.
Horrible to lose them though.
That's why when you're
oh, that's a great shot.
When you're down 2-love, you don't want to start dropping your shoulders, dropping your head, and
yeah,
you want to keep up that.
Well, when you're 2-all, right, both players can't get much closer. So you know, it's really who makes the less mistakes. And you know, as my dad always said, it's just watch the ball.
Yeah.
Just watch the ball in the 5th game. That's all that's important, right?
Don't overthink it. Just focus.
And
make the other person earn every point.
Here we go, 5-all.
Best match of the tournament so far.
So far, yes. It's nice to see. 5 games. Here we go. 6-5 now for Sarah. Take her first lead in this game. Oh, look at that. What is he giving there?
Depends on which path she was taking there.
They're giving a let?
I think she moved forward instead of moving.
Oh, she gave her a no let. Okay.
Yeah, it's because she moved the wrong way. She took the wrong line.
But that ball hit off the side wall pretty early on. The path of the ball would have been straight towards it. But you know,
I think her first movement was moving into the player instead of moving.
That was a really good shot though. Half volley from Lindsay right into that neck. Volley, yeah. Oh,
right in the middle.
Yeah.
Is she gonna get punished?
Oh, there's going to be a stroke. Yeah, it's a stroke right through the middle. When those rallies get pretty frantic and go all over the place, I've seen this quite often where it just ends in a stroke, because you know, sometimes the ball just comes at you and you just got to hit it off and hope for the best. And
8-7.
oh, that made it? No, it didn't. 8-7 now for Lindsay.
Seems like they're taking turns being dominant.
Yeah, it seems like they take a lead and then they make a mistake, and they take a lead and make a mistake.
10-7. Match ball.
Oh, that's a stroke
There's a
again.
stroke.
I find this game has been a lot more on the backhand too. Especially the second half of this game.
You want to just stick to your game plan when it's 2-all, because
Well, Lindsay's game plan has worked pretty well. 10-7 now to win it, being down 2-love. So it'll be a great win for her. And oh, that was a good shot. It's a good shot. Nice, low and tight. It's pretty funny. Those drops don't have to really stay at the front that much. They, you know, as long as you keep them tight enough, it gets even harder for your opponent, especially on a smaller court like this. there's another good shot from the back of the court. 10-all now.
Getting tight now.
9-10.
9-10.
Just 9-10. Okay, one more point for Sarah to equalise this. Oh, could be a let. Oh, gave her a stroke.
Gave her a stroke.
Gave her a stroke.
Surprised
Okay,
by that
yeah, I would have given that a let, but you know the refs. Oh, that's a good shot. Let's clip the tin. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see, I must say. Okay, clip the top of the tin. 11-10 now. Match ball again for Lindsay to take it. Oh, there she goes. Down from 2-love. Now takes it for 3-2. Really great win for Lindsay. Next up, we have Grace Thomas against Jana Dweek. Grace being an really good junior, and Jana being a really good current junior. So this is going to be a really good matchup between experience and newcomers. Like I said earlier, Jana is actually second in Canada in the U17s, so she can give a good. Is the order 3-2-1 or 3-1-2?
Is it?
Okay. Alright, I made a mistake. Sorry guys. It's going to be now Nicole Bunyan versus Danielle Letourneau. Two really good players coming up. Number 39 in the world, which is Danielle, and Nicole, who's number 65 now. So this is going to be a good
big
one.
draw. We're going to have a big crowd for this one.
Nicole Bunyan facing the serve. Danielle Letourneau ready to receive. Best of 5 games. Ball. Alberta. And now,
Hey guys, welcome back to the Canadian Women's Team Squash Champs in Gatineau, Quebec, hosted by Squash Shootaway here at La Sportec. Here we have 2 elite players. We got Danielle Letourneau, who is 39th in the world right now, and from Alberta, and Nicole Bunyan from BC, who's 65th in the world right now. 2 really, really good players, so we're in for a pretty good match here. Have you seen much of these 2 play, Stevie?
I haven't at all. Last night I looked at YouTube just for a little bit, so I'm familiar with them and the others.
Mm-hmm.
Two tall, strong players.
Yeah.
Have good reach, so may not have to move much from the middle in this part. I'm gonna let you do most of the analysis here, Dom, again, because I've got the 55-year-old eyes without the right glasses, so I'm not seeing the ball. And you got the, what is it, 24-year-old eyes?
20.
20?
20.
You're only 20?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Oh,
Where did you get all that maturity?
My brother, I guess. Don't know if that's a good thing though.
20?
Was that?
I'm surprised.
Well, thank you. I'll take it as a compliment.
It's a big compliment. You were wise, even when you were young, though, right? You're hanging around with adults a lot. That's what happens in a squash club. You end up
well, you know, playing
adults.
in the juniors. When I was a junior, playing city league and stuff. From a young age, you're always surrounded by adults, so you had no choice but to try to talk to them. And
right.
I guess I got used to talking with adults when I was really young, right? So it's a lot easier for me now.
Yeah.
Where there's still a lot of people like later teens that struggle.
Right.
But,
Yeah, you have a very confidence about you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Handy thing to have when you're 20. Go ahead, sorry.
Danielle now going up 3-1 in this 5th game. Oh, that's such a good drop. From the back of the service box, just hitting like less than an inch over the chin.
You know, when you're an elite player, one of the higher
Here we go.
high-ranked player, you have that confidence when you have the time and you're going to be able to plug that ball in and finish it off. And that's the difference between the...
Well, is knowing when to go for it, right?
Yeah.
There's often you can send the ball to the front, but actually aim it like almost a foot above the chin just to avoid hitting the chin. And then there's, you can go for the balls in the front to finish the rally off, right? And it's what those better players know when and where and how to do it, right? So 7-1 now. Danielle took a really, really quick lead in this first game. I'll actually predict Danielle to take this 3-love. I think she has just a little bit more experience than Nicole, which will make that difference.
Yeah.
Especially, she's probably played a little bit more on different types of courts, right? So it's
different stages too.
Being able to adjust the games to different courts and different climates.
Yeah, that's part of the experience of a high-ranked player. What are the age differences here? Nicole Bunyan is just a.
I'm not sure.
A number of years younger, right?
Yeah. So we got Nicole that's 26, and it's the same age. They're both exactly the same age. Danielle and Nicole are 26. Actually, Danielle in 2018 took the Canadian champs. Big title for her.
Holly or Sam? No?
I can't remember. I'm not sure who she played in the final.
She hits a heavy ball.
Who?
Danielle.
What do you mean by a heavy ball? I'm not sure what
she seems like she. I just saw a couple of her rallies on YouTube, and she likes to hit a heavy ball, like hit it hard.
Oh, okay, I see. Like get that ball to really die in the back, or skid in the back. Yeah.
She's not a lob and drop person. She's a pace hitter.
Okay, 9-4 now for Danielle. It's looking pretty casual for her right now. Oh, that's a good shot. Good shot. Yeah, it's a new shot that's come through, that one. The sort of cross kill sort of drop at the same time. Not really sure what to call it, but it had to not go for that cross court nick, but hit the second bounce into the nick type of thing. It's I think it's Shabini that's really good at that shot specifically. You see that shot a little bit more often these days, so it's just one of those new shots on the block.
Which one? Describe that one again.
I don't know what the name of it is, but it's not the cross court nick, but it's sort of that cross court, that second bounce goes into the nick. That just dies and fades away, and it's like in many times better shot than going for the cross court nick. Cross double nick, yeah, that's cross double nick.
Cutting down into it.
Yeah, a little bit more spin on it to try to make it die a bit quicker before it hits the side wall. So yeah, that first bounce is almost in the middle of the court. Oh, there you go. Mistake there from Danielle.
Okay, rolling back here.
7-10. Could get close. So Danielle takes it. First game, 11-7. Seems like a good game. They'll probably heat up in the second one too. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, if Nicole can get stuck in there.
Yeah, she'll need to make a couple less mistakes because she'll give Danielle a couple too many opportunities with those mistakes,
You
and
need to extend the rallies if you can.
yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, just get those extra shots in and just force that mistake.
Yeah.
Try to get Danielle's confidence a bit lower too, right? Because BC is up 1-love. Danielle has the pressure on to win this one. She could crack under the pressure. But right now, Danielle just looks like a more solid player, making less mistakes, adapting to the court a bit better too.
Do you think it's much of a factor with the Ontario team playing kind of home
Well,
in terms of support and?
Yeah, I think. Well, we are on the Quebec side, right? Gatineau is on the Quebec side, so and from what I can see in the crowd, there's more Quebec players and supporters than Ontario. But there are a lot of people from Ottawa here, so I guess Ontario having a bit of home crowd support that'll help. But really, overall, I don't think it'll make much of a difference.
Yeah. Was Steve saying there is some money in this? Tom?
For the winner, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think there might be for the winning team. Yeah. You go Danielle going up on the first point of playing a let.
It was important to get that first point psychologically.
Yeah. Oh, it's at the top of the tin there. Oh, that's nice touch from Danielle. Lobbing that cross court just so it can die in the back. Like I said earlier, especially on these court, once you get that ball in the lob, they will die in the back. It's a really good shot to use on this court. Sometimes different courts, it can really bounce out and not be as effective. But that shot here, I think Danielle is starting to figure it out because it's the second lob in 2 rallies that she's done. Stroke there. Oh, that was a good get. Going the wrong way.
Recovered.
It's one thing. I don't think we'll see many players actually holding the ball at the front of the court. It's not the right.
I was going to mention that too. There's not a lot of holes.
It's, with the smaller court, there's less distance to cover, right? So to hold actually will put you in, like if you don't do it perfectly, right? It'll put you in more trouble than anything else.
Right. So just keep the tempo going.
Go to Alberta. And now 5-3.
What was that? That was right into the neck, was it?
Yeah, something happened to Nicole's foot. I hope she's not hurting.
6-3.
I think that's a stroke.
There'd be a stroke. Well, with the new rules are around the strokes and lets, right? The refs are generally trying to get the players to hit those balls more than ask for the let, but it's a little inconsistent sometimes with different refs accepting that rule and others not really. So I'm not sure what to expect when those shots come in now.
4-6.
The reviews has really helped professional squash, I think, at the for
for sure.
matches.
But, still sometimes there's some shocking calls though, even with the reviews.
Sure.
And out. 5-7.
That's a good shot. 7-4 now for Danielle, really dominating this second game again. She seems to just be a better all-out player here, covering the court a bit better, just making less mistakes.
9-5.
She's also holding her ball a little more, holding her shot a little more.
She seems to be holding that T position.
Keeping Nicole on her heels a little more.
Yeah, for sure, agreed. But, Danielle's T positioning is a little higher than Nicole's.
Yeah.
So it lets Danielle volley a couple more of those, couple more shots. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a good volley drop. You can't give anything onto her volley. She's gonna punish you for that.
6-10. Game ball.
Ten 10-5 now for Danielle to take it up 2-love. It's looking good for her and for the team Alberta, who's actually down 1-love in matches. So they need Danielle to win this one to stay alive in this round. Straight there. There you go. 11-7, same score from the first game. Danielle takes us to go up 2-love. It's a crucial game here for Alberta. They really need this match to stay alive. But looking good so far.
It's all scored by matches, not by. There's no games that come into play, right? In terms of.
I'm not sure how the scoring works. Well, yeah, it'd have to just be by matches because it's just 3 matches. They don't need to count points. I remember the Canada games in 2015. We because it's Canada games, they want to promote more play, so they sent 4 players in one team instead of 3.
Yeah.
So it would often have to count down to the games and points.
Yeah.
And I remember in the final of the teams event, which was Alberta versus Ontario.
Yeah.
It was one of the closest games they've ever had. It was a difference overall between the matches. It was a difference of, I think, 2 points to win that gold medal for Alberta, just squeaking it out. It was something like if in the last game it was Alexei Gossett playing. I can't remember who. But if he would have won just one game in that match, he would have Ontario would have won. But ended up being Alberta winning that match 3-love, which and it was like something like 11-9 to make that point difference, and they went up to counting the points, and Alberta took it by literally 2 points. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that was a big win for Alberta.
So what do you think Nicole needs to do here, Dom?
honestly, it's first cutting down on those mistakes. And like every time she's giving that ball to Danielle on that volley, Danielle's just punished her, right? So, like we said earlier, the narrow courts, having those cross courts, it's hard to get that ball past. Even Danielle, who has such a wide reach and can really dominate on those volleys. So that would be the first thing for Nicole. Would try to avoid that volley, maybe using a bit more height, because she seems to be pounding a lot of those balls, right?
Yeah, like I said, Danielle is she hits a heavy ball, so she's puts a lot of pressure and just gives herself a little more time to get back to the tee. And I get the feeling Nicole needs to get back to the fundamentals a little bit and have confidence in her length game and just not to give her so many openings, like you said, with the volleys. If she can focus on that, then get comfortable, and just like she did in the first game when she was coming back.
Yeah, oh, that was a good shot. Sitting Danielle the wrong way. Nice one. Oh, that was a good shot. Hold and flick. I think the first one of the game.
Yeah.
Or the hold and flick.
Yeah. Definitely take playing more aggressively now. Must have gotten some good coaching from somebody to pep her up.
Oh, that's a good shot from Nicole.
Well, maybe somebody told her you got nothing to lose here, so
she's just going for it.
They just relax sometimes when they're down like that, and
oh, there you go. That could be a stroke. Ended up 5-2. No, gonna give it a lead on that one. I honestly think that would have been a stroke, but it's pretty funny you say that. Sean Vallejo Sevilla, who's an ex-junior, he used to be #1 in Canada in U15s. He was explaining that when he's always had the game of just shooting the hell out, and after a certain point in juniors it's good, but once you get a bit older, the other players start to get stronger and can catch those balls. But he was explaining that when he was playing juniors, he wasn't really into it that much, but he ended up being really, really good at the sport. So the fact that he didn't have that much pressure on himself just let him shoot a lot more. Which he got that reputation of shooting. He got pretty good at it. With that, so the lack of pressure made him a bit better.
He always looked like somebody who could play with ease.
Yeah, with ease.
But then wouldn't be winning all the points necessarily.
Well, when you're shooting that much, the errors creep in easily. But Nicole's really going to have to step up and really cut those balls off, because every time that... Nicole, because every time Danielle is sending those cross courts, Nicole's letting them go by. She seems to be just picking those balls up more than actually stepping on it. But
another error. She's putting a little bit more pressure on her, creating a couple of errors.
But 6-3 now for Nicole. It's looking good for her. A couple errors from Danielle.
There's nothing to lose. You just loosen up, loosen your racket a bit.
Yeah.
And it starts to flow a little more, and then you can try and change the momentum, get some confidence. Hope that the other person panics with their big lead.
Yeah, it's harder to win that 10th point than getting to 10.
Yeah.
You know that, Stevie? Have you had a couple games where you've had a solid lead and completely missed it?
Not a lot, because of my style of game. It's I'm a bit of a digger and retriever too. So I can rely on that.
Greyhound squash.
Yeah. Let's see if Danielle uses her experience here to close it out.
That's going to be a stroke. Yeah. Loose shot. Strokes are easy on these courts. Yeah. Another mistake there from Nicole, letting Danielle back into this game. That point was really crucial for Nicole. You know, now it's 6-7.
As this one is too. Let's see if she can.
Yeah, for sure.
Get that 2-point lead back.
Yeah, loose shot. Doesn't seem she's putting that much pressure now on Danielle like in the first half of that game where she got that lead. And Danielle stepped up on that tee. Look how far her tee is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look
at that. She's almost right over the service line.
Yeah. It's making the difference now because now the momentum's shifted all the way to Danielle now, and it's not. Nicole's going to have to do something, you know, almost send the ball out of court purposefully outside the court so they can have a little break. Oh, and hits the neck. That's a bit lucky.
Happens when you have momentum too.
Yeah, well, you know, luck goes one way too, right? So
Exactly.
Oh, that's a nice boast. 9-7, eh? That's a quick turnaround from Danielle.
Quick 4 or 5 points.
Yeah. It's a little mental lapse there from Nicole, I think, to let Danielle back into this game. See, giving it to that volley, Danielle's just going to capitalize on it.
The thing with the experienced players, they know when to really come on, when to really bring it on, just at the right time.
9-10 match ball.
Oh, that's no shot.
There you go, one more point.
She's not that far off. She can stay alive in this match.
It'd be quite exciting if she could get this game.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Loose serve. Yeah, Danielle will just tear you apart with a loose serve.
Take her time on that last serve.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those details.
There you go. Difference of
experience.
Yeah, you know, they're both the same age too, so they probably grew up in juniors together. They've probably played each other many times, being on the West Coast. Great match between the two. Now we have Jana Dweek from Alberta, who's we've talked about earlier, who's actually second in Canada in the U17s, playing extremely well right now. Playing against Grace Thomas from BC, who's fifth in Canada. Had her good run in juniors too, representing Canada at the World Juniors in the Netherlands, I believe. I think it was 2017. He's a really experienced player, so this is going to be a good one there. Junior versus ex-junior.
It's fun to see the big age gaps on the PSA tour these days. When you see
it's true.
You know, people like Gaultier playing somebody who's like Assal playing Assal, right?
Assal, who's
last 18.
Yeah. Well, I think the youngest player on the PSA now is 41, 42. Is the Czech player, Ukrainian.
He's retired now.
He must have retired in the last couple of years, because I watched him play in Toronto at a 10K tournament, and he was still moving for a 40-year-old.
There's a Borgolan. He's still going strong.
Yeah, he's got. Well, you know, his rankings dropped off a bit. I think he had a couple of injuries, didn't he? Yeah, he's in the mid-30s.
But what about the Aussie, the woman who's 42 now? She used to be number one. What's her name? The name escapes me. She's still in the top 20. She's just hanging in the top 20.
Forget.
The lefty, who hits a lot of lobs and drops and quick little short short shots, mid-court.
I can't recall. Let's see here.
She's still very fit, very strong, but for the type of squash she plays, she can get away with it because she plays squash and tries to upset the other person's rhythm.
There's top 20 ladies in the PSA right now.
She might
be a bit
go to
lower.
25.
Oh, here you're talking about Rachel Grenham. Yeah, of course. She's still powering through, man. Yeah, she's not letting go. Yeah, true legend. So yeah, then we got junior versus ex-junior. It's gonna be a good one actually. I actually have no predictions for this one.
So Jana
is
Jana
in
is
the white on the left. Yeah.
And Grace is how old?
She's
not too much older, right?
Grace is she would be 21 or 22 now.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a couple of years older than me. So 21 or 22. Yeah. Right, so Alberta stays alive in this roundup. Now this is the match of truth. Winner of this will actually win the roundup, so this is going to be a really tight one, a really good one. There's a bit of pressure on both of them, so will it be experience taking it or?
I guess it's experience in this one. Unless youth plays out of her mind because of all the adrenaline and the support around her. Would you say that a lot of the top juniors are a little more physically developed because they've got that strength and power?
Yeah, well, in the younger categories, like U15 and U17, you see that difference of growth. Some of them get their growth spurts a lot earlier, and it'll definitely give them a certain advantage in the early years. But once you get to the under 19 stages, most juniors have developed a lot more, which can close out those gaps. I remember when I was in under 15 playing a player from Manitoba, Hunter Christensen.
You weighed 40 pounds then?
Yeah, well, I wasn't small, but I definitely wasn't the biggest, and he was a big dude back then, even when he was like 14, 15, right? So I remember trying to just like get around him and just bumping into him all the time. That difference of
at that age and playing in junior, sometimes just imposing your physical presence can even be a factor.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see, but these two seems to have a bit of the same physique. So it's though Jana is much younger though.
How far did Jana's brother get?
He was good.
He was good, eh?
I luckily never played him, but he's a year or two younger than me, and he was beating all the top guys in my age. Well, we're all running for the World Junior, for the Canadian team, to make the Canadian team for the World Juniors in Chennai of 2018, and Dweek he just missed out, I believe, and I was just a little bit behind him in that lineup. So he was 16 at the time, and he almost got a spot on the team. So the kid was good.
Is he still in the game?
I think he's retreated back into the school. I haven't seen his name around in the junior squash.
Do you find, Dom, when you start really young as a junior, your lifespan of squash tends to be shorter because you just kind of get burnt out or fizzle out a little earlier?
Actually, I don't know. Honestly, I'd take me an example. After finishing juniors, I was just burnt out, just wanting a little break. But I think when you start really young, it's one of those sports that just sticks with you for the rest of your life, and you probably won't play to the same intensity. Well, at least most juniors won't play to the same intensity as when they were in juniors, right? But I think if you start out really young, it's a little harder to kind of just give up on the sport later on in life.
Well, some of them, it seems like they might take a hiatus for a number of years, but then they can always come back to it because they've got those strong fundamentals, skills that
the muscle memory.
The muscle memory.
Once you get that technique right, it's such a helper. If you get it at a really, really young age, it's easier to come through when you're older, and to still practice. Let's say you took a couple of years off after juniors and then you come back. It's much easier to get back into the rhythm. Because you can still hit the ball pretty well. It's not like you have to learn the technique all over again, right?
You just have to just keep your expectations a bit, right? Because that's what a lot of people that play at a good level, they quit and they'll never come back because it's no fun playing. It's such a different level afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
Now let me get my eyes straight here. Jana is in the black shorts, correct?
No, that's Grace in the black
there
shorts.
You go. Yes, shorter.
So 3-1 for Grace now in this first game. These look like they will be pretty long rallies there. A lot of shots going to the back, but they just seem to ease their way into this game. I haven't seen much of Jenna play, and actually last time I saw her play was when I was in juniors. I think it was in Edmonton at a selection event there. She was playing, I think, under 13s or just into under 15. So honestly, she's grown a lot since in the last 2 years. It's surprising to see her.
When you're that young, you're still trying to contend with just, as you said, the growth spurts, the changes in your body, and trying to adapt all of that while you're continuing to try and improve.
Yeah, well, actually, sometimes for some juniors, it hurts. It hurts the bones because they're pushing the body to so far physically, and then at the same time the body's growing. I used to have pains in my thighs and the femurs. Right. That's the bone in the thigh, isn't it? Yeah. I used to have massive pains there every time I'd have a hard match because the bone was growing, and then you under 19s you're playing almost amateur pro squash, right? Almost to that level, especially when you play US juniors and Canadian juniors, it's a certain level, right? And the body takes a massive hit when you're a bit younger. So those growth spurts hurt.
People watching they think, well, how can they be tired? How can they be sore at 16, 18? But I think there's the reason. Dom just explained it for you.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. It was one of those things that if it was just when I stopped between rallies, if I'd walk, then it would hurt. But during the rally, if my legs would kept moving,
going,
it wouldn't hurt as much. But it's definitely after the rallies and after the matches that it would just start aching in the bones. But I don't think it happens to everyone.
The important thing is at that age you have to start to understand about recovery and what you need to do. Some kids, they don't even bother showering, and you need a hot shower at least.
Yeah, definitely.
9-3.
Okay, so 7-3 up for Grace as quick first game, taking that lead. I think she took Jana a bit by surprise.
She's dominating so far here.
Yeah.
10-3.
Honestly, it's I love Grace's way to play. It's so casual, so smooth. Even though even in juniors when she'd have the hardest matches, it would never look like she was working much harder.
It looks very natural and relaxed in her style of play.
She makes me think a lot of Runa Reda,
right,
in Montreal.
Right.
Runa's one of those ladies that she's so good, yet so casual when she plays.
Right. I was just looking at the rankings, the Canadian rankings, and there are some people I thought weren't playing anymore competitively, like Runa, but her ranking is still there, fairly high.
Yeah, yeah.
Is she playing some?
She plays some
tournaments?
tournaments. Like I think. Well, she played. She played the Masters. Did she play the Masters last year when they had the Canadian teams Masters event here?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did play in that one, and I think she also played in the Canadian Women's Teams Champs of 2017 that was here.
Oh, okay.
So she's still around a little bit, but nowhere near what she used to be. She's back at school now. She's
oh, is she?
I believe she's doing a second masters in
okay.
social work at I believe it's at McGill.
She's doing an MSW, is she?
Yeah.
Good
So
for her.
yeah.
Good for her. She's got a great personality, a great person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really hard worker.
I think she's given a lot to squash already. She should have
bit of time for herself.
Yeah. Couldn't feel bad moving on to something else.
I think we can say that for a lot of people in the squash scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of time for yourself.
You know what else I noticed when looking at the rankings? I noticed some people like Jan, and even a girl that I played a lot at OAC before, Stephanie Richardson. I think she's in her early 50s now.
Okay.
And she's still in the top.
Is she really?
Top 20, maybe top 20 or top 30, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, well, sometimes rankings can have glitches, and though I think Squash Canada they are changing their ranking systems to slowly through Club Locker, which might fix a couple problems hopefully. Yeah, because I think the Squash Canadian ranking for a while, I don't know now, but in the last couple of years they were put in manually. So human mistakes are really easy to come by. So there was a couple of times I think I remember when I was in juniors, like when I was 14 or 15, I had one of my matches at the Quebec Junior Open put in twice. Yeah. So I got double the points.
There's one way to do it.
It was taken off. It was an accident, but yeah.
Yeah, I like how Grace is just she's light on her feet.
Yeah, just casual, just floats around that court.
Yeah, just floats.
Probably one of the quickest, like laterally.
Yeah.
She's so quick to go from one side of the court to the other with that volley. She's always ready. Oh, that's a good shot. Yeah.
That's what sometimes coaches, I don't know if you ever tell people, when they're just, their feet are kind of like cement and they're not moving properly, just tell them to skip around the court a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes telling juniors that it's a little bit harder. The thing I noticed is Grace's tee positioning is really far back. It's at the back of the service book. Look at that. Yeah,
much further than the last match.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Though that ball is really bouncy though, so it pushes the players back a bit, and that ball bounces off the wall a bit more. So when you go for that drop,
maybe she's feeling comfortable enough not to have to move up on the tee yet.
Yeah, well, winning the first game 11-3.
Yeah.
Her racket prep is late though. It's impressive how she can hit a lot of balls with that much control, because often with late preparations it's a bit of trouble for them, because mistakes and hitting outside the sweet spot is it's a bit easier when you have a late preparation, but Grace is just so casual.
Well, Jana's making it work a little more now.
Yeah, 3-all now in the second, looking good.
The only thing with the younger juniors, I would imagine they just need a little bit of time to get themselves comfortable into a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, well,
sometimes you just have to bang the ball a few times and get it straight, and then get
that's good shot.
Get rid of the nerves. First 3 points.
And up, 5-4. And up, 5-all.
Unusual mistake by Grace there.
6-5.
Did she hit it? What? Not sure. Couldn't see that ball go.
And up, 6-all.
6-all now. 6-5. Sorry. It's it's a bit of a closer game here.
Yeah.
Jana seems to be making a couple less mistakes, right? I think that was a real difference in the first game.
7-6.
Oh, that's a good shot.
There you go.
Yeah. She's really taking that T positioning and then sending that ball back to for the second bounce in the neck. It's pretty effective against Grace. Unforced error there.
Yeah, she missed that.
Yeah, maybe a
ball
little
open
too
court.
casual.
Yeah.
It looked like a little bit lack of effort onto that ball, right? That led her to hit that turn.
Almost too much time, and she just
Yeah.
stood up casually.
Well, sometimes
She hit it.
those really easy balls are the hardest to hit because you have literally too much time.
That's one thing that your dad does well. You know, he maintains his form no matter what the shot is.
Yeah, well, it's a lot in the footwork, right? If you can adjust for that ball, you can you can do pretty much what you want with the racket and keep that same preparation, especially on those shots where there is a lot of time.
Let's see if Jana can make it exciting here.
Thank you. 9-7.
I have to say, it's pretty impressive for under 15.
Yup, she's good. Yup, even I'm scared. Good wide crossbar
She's
there.
able to play at a really good pace.
Yeah, it's true. She can keep up that pace, right?
Yeah.
10-7.
That's the thing with the
Same ball.
juniors, whether they can keep that pace up.
Yeah,
They come out all guns and blazes at the beginning, and then
yeah.
realize that this is.
It's a little bit harder. You go 10-7 now for Grace. She took it away there from 7-all.
Ran away with it there.
Quick point, 8-10.
9-10. In ball.
When we were playing Johnny Wilson sometimes, and he would say when he's down, he says it out loud, tells himself, "Good game to win." That's
Oh, Johnny.
so, it almost puts the fear into the other person, like, no way you can come back and beat me.
Well,
But when he says that, it makes the other person realize, it is a possibility,
Yeah.
You could lose it still.
Oh yeah, Johnny is one of the best at the mind games.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it was.
And hitting the ball at the very last minute. backhand side.
We had Johnny. Johnny's playing back at university, and he's playing for the Laurier team.
Yeah.
And a couple weekends ago, last weekend, he was playing against the number one of Carleton, which is ASA, the OUA finals.
Oh, really?
And Johnny just made sure he did everything he could to try to annoy
He had to use
ASA.
everything he had.
And it honestly worked. ASA was not in a good
Really?
mood.
Really?
Oh man, no, ASA, he can just, he's so much younger. He can just, and a lot of talent in ASA. He won pretty cleanly, but
when you have a middle-aged bald guy with a lobster face, all red.
Oh man,
that's gonna scare the bejesus out of some kids.
He was great at kicking the ball to the front of the court and making the time between rallies just extra long.
And now, 11. In ball.
Wow, we have a game here.
Yeah,
11-all.
11-all.
I saw Grace put her hands up in frustration, so there's a little sign of concentration going a little bit.
Out. And now, 12 all.
That's the thing, these experienced players, they just know that they just need to stay the course, play the fundamentals right at the right time.
Just clipped out. I'm exchanging game points there.
It's a little bit tense in this second.
Jana needs this game if she wants to keep herself alive in this match, because if she goes down 2-love, it's going to be much harder for her to try to get back onto it. Oh, that's a good shot. Just out of reach for Grace's racket.
She had pressure on her. Point.
Yeah, long rallies. Long rallies seems to be going to Jana's favour. She's been winning most of the long ones. Oh, that's a great way to finish the game. 14-12.
There's a confidence shot.
Oh yeah. So Jana looks a lot more confident here. She might be coming back in for this next one a little bit more upbeat than the first game. So 14-12. Can't get much closer than that. Great to see.
Just gave herself the belief that she's in this and she could actually take the match. What do you think of the best of three format?
I actually love it.
You love it, huh?
Yeah, I know most people don't like it, but I actually love the best of three. Though it is a lot, the games are a lot shorter. They're a lot more intense, though.
Much more intense, exciting.
The first
pressure.
game is, so much more, important that if you win the first game, you're setting yourself up to win the match, right? Which changes the dynamic of the game, right? Completely.
Yeah.
I know there was a couple other ideas of like scoring systems going around. There was the Remy Shaw scoring system.
The RAM scoring system.
Yeah, I think he held like a tournament in New York with his scoring system, which I can't remember how it worked.
The exhibition with Nick.
Okay, and you did the Remy.
And used the RAM scoring system.
How does that work? It's time based, right? Not point based.
It's time based.
Yeah. So I think that's right. It's 3 minutes, I think, and
they were tired.
Oh
In
yeah,
spite of
I'm
that,
sure.
they
Yeah.
were really tired.
Well, it's how many points can you make in 3 minutes? I think. Yeah, the person with the most. Well, I could. It's a pretty funny thing because I could see that scoring system work really well for Rami. He's a
Yeah.
shooter, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it was a bit biased, but exposed man.
Surprising that he didn't win though.
Oh, he didn't actually.
I think he just didn't have the physicality
Okay, yeah.
to beat somebody like Nick.
Yeah, of course. He's still, he's been plagued with injuries since like 2013, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You still saw glimpses of his brilliance, but
yeah, definitely.
how long can he keep that up? That's why he's
Yeah, he's retired
come up
now,
with this
so.
system, so
Yeah, so he doesn't have to
just
run
to
so
suit
much.
himself.
But there was also, I think it was my dad that they had thought of another system of making it best of 7 games, but up to 9 points or up to 7 points, which is. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Dad definitely thinks that his argument for it is that now there's way many more crucial points, right? There's way more game balls, and there's those tiebreaker sort of games which raises the intensity, like making a shorter game but more games.
Yeah. The only thing we'll lose with these new scoring systems is when people are down 2-love and they actually come back. Because those are exciting matches when somebody comes back. And
that is true. Yeah. Well, if let's say you went to the best of 7 but up to 9 points, with win a point of rally instead of win the serve with a point.
Right.
Often that gets confused, but those be up 3-love and win 4-3.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty.
5-1, right side.
Okay,
Grace is getting serious here.
Yeah, she's really stepped up in another gear here for this third game. But yeah, which tournaments again on the PSA are doing the best of 3 scoring system? I think it's
was it the one in
the one in London and the Nuts Open.
The Nuts, I think so.
And the one in London. I can't remember what's it called. But yeah, I honestly
and the World Series, right?
The World Series, except the final, right?
Except the final.
Yeah, I honestly love that system. It just makes the game so much more dynamic.
It does.
But though, I don't think squash should go solely to that system. Having both is also really nice. Having those long, traditional, those hour and a half games. That Sean Daly is so good at. It's those games are also really, really entertaining to watch. So I think a mix of both would be honestly the best, because having just one or just the other, there's arguments for both sides.
One caters to a certain type of spectators, and the other caters to another type.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe for the ones that aren't as avid or experienced squash players, they need that intensity and excitement, because they don't understand all the psychology and tactics and.
Have you also heard of the other rumor? Well, not really a rumor, but it went around a couple of years ago of taking away the cut line on the front wall.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, so that idea didn't go that far, but there was some talks from taking away the cut line actually.
The service line, you're saying?
Yeah, the cut line, the service line.
Yeah.
My dad always says the cut line, so it's just I've adopted that now. But yeah, the service line. I mean,
if you took that away.
Nothing. Just you take it away, because honestly,
the service would be different then.
Well, yeah, instead of having a limit
like
on the
a
front
racquetball
wall,
serve.
a little bit, yeah. Well, you can vary the serve a bit more, but honestly, outside of the serve, what is the service line really for?
There's no difference, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to take it, and honestly, I think it would be a pretty funny thing, because you could go for some really attacking serves.
Yeah.
Right. It could change the way how you serve. I think my dad had at one point was talking about almost doing having second serves, like in tennis, right? So having a serve that's made almost to win the point, and then the second one to keep
it's
you
almost
alive.
like you get into intensity right from the get-go from the start, right?
But in squash, having a second serve, like squash serve is not supposed to be a winning shot, right? So, well, at least with the service line still there. So I don't think a second serve would be very useful. Would change the game that much.
10-4. The ball. Stroke to BC. 11-4. BC leads 2 games to 1.
Well, if Jana could win a few points here just to make it close at least, so that even if she loses the game, then the next game she'll have
Sometimes it's that
confidence
decision of whether to let the game go or try to give yourself another little chance to get back into a good rhythm. Just start the next game off on a good note, right? But I think for this one it was better for Jana to let it go. Yeah. Save that energy. So 2-1 now for Grace. It's looking all in her favour right now. Jana's going to have to turn this game around if she wants to give herself any chance.
See if she can get some good coaching here. Sometimes it's just the right words that will
for sure.
bring them back to life.
Final 10 and 60 seconds. BC leads 2 games to 1. To serve and no ball. I wasn't sure about that one. Fail that one. And pick up. Went off.
Alright, we're back in here for this 4th game of the 3rd match of the Alberta versus BC roundup. Now Grace is still leading 2-1. She's looking pretty good in the last couple of games. She just seems to be dominating a bit more than Jana. A bit more experience too, right, and a bit older. But 2-love now for Grace. Jana will have to turn her game around, get those balls a bit tighter, make less mistakes. It's really back to the basics in these situations.
For her targets,
because both of them are, they're pretty close in skill level. It's just that execution of the shot is just a little off by Jana. Just that mistake there. If she would have bent her knees or given herself a little bit more space on that ball, she could have got that ball a bit higher, right? Grace could have hit that. I feel like there was a bit of space, but 5-love, quick lead here. Jana got herself in the hole.
Fast hole that.
Really fast, yeah. 5-love. We should start recording how long these games are.
And out, 6-1.
Looks like a stroke. Oh.
Yeah. No, playing left.
Bit of a mental lapse for Jana here.
These last 2 games, yeah, it looks. I think Grace has she adapted to Jana's game too, right after the second game.
Right.
Grace got right back on top of it. Now the confidence is all on Grace's side, which makes that difference. Look right there, volley drop. Jana's just picking up more than stepping up on it.
She's going to run away with it now.
Yeah, 7-1. It's looking like all Grace now. Oh, that's a good shot though.
Nice when you can redeem yourself at least. A couple of nice.
Yeah, well, if she goes,
shots.
She could get a couple of lucky ones and 2 or 3 good rallies where she actually wins the rally and. Yeah, that was
she's doing just what you're saying.
Yeah, just a couple of lucky
2 in a row.
Lucky mistakes. Sometimes when I find myself getting the hole that quickly in a game, if I can, I actually like to almost throw the ball outside the court to kind of change up the rhythm.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a little sneaky. You try to pick it up with the rack and oops, it goes out. Yeah. But it works though. Sometimes it just changes that frame of mind and gives you a couple more seconds and you can turn the thing around.
Yeah. Tie your shoelaces or
tie your shoelaces for extra long time.
Remind your opponent that they owe you $20 from last week.
9-4.
Set up properly, move her feet, give herself space.
There you go. Difference of experience, eh?
Yeah.
I think she went into that one a little too casual.
Yeah.
Those shots that go right through the middle, we often think that they'll be easy shots, but they normally catch us by surprise, and they're the worst shots to lose. It's often that you can lose a rally from a shot going right through the middle, right? It's so frustrating. 5-9 here. Jana still has a little opportunity to stay in this match if she can get a bit lucky too, right? There you go. There's unforced error by Grace. She didn't have to go for that cross court.
Give her let.
7-9.
Consistent with the other calls.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Here's when Grace could, between points, you could just take a little bit of extra time just to reset herself.
Yeah, because that's two. There you go, another mistake. Lack of concentration. That's a good time to throw the ball outside the court. You see, if Jana wins actually at this point, she's back in this. 8-9,
Yeah.
putting the pressure back on to Grace. Oh, there you go. 10-7 now for Grace. Match ball to close this out for BC to a solid win over Alberta. Oh, that's really honest. Good for her.
Yeah,
There you
bad
go.
luck on that last.
Yeah, bad luck. Sport techniques as we call it.
Yeah.
There's a really good game between the junior and ex-junior. It's really fun to see those two play.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations that outside of it's a little rare that you'd see it in women's teams champs, but the U23s now, it's fun because now you get older juniors or ex-juniors, that's just early 20s and juniors playing all together.
Yeah.
And it's honestly one of my favorite tournaments of the U23s because it brings in like such a different level, and some juniors are playing number one juniors that are losing too because they're not playing so much, and it's a great dynamic, great atmosphere. But just another situation here where a junior played ex-junior, and obviously the experience won. But great match. Alberta, British Columbia takes it 2-1 over Alberta. We are done for the night. We're done for the night. So tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. where we have, here we go, 9 a.m. we have the bronze medal match on the live stream. And at 11 a.m. we'll have the gold medal match on the live stream, and we'll actually have Heather Wallace come on, who's ex-world number 4, I believe, from her time in the PSA, and she'll have a nice little input on this tournament and her experience. It'll be great to have a talk with her. But thanks, Stevie.
Don, it was a pleasure.
Appreciate for you to come out for this.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Great
mate.
commentating. Thank you.
See you guys.
Take care.